One more injury report to start. Hanley, can you give me that?
Think so. Yep.
Think so? Okay.
Practiced with us today.
So the other day,
Yep.
okay. I think I saw Taylor Anderson up there right here too. She's coming back.
TBD.
TBD. on her.
TBD.
Okay.
Yep.
What would it mean to get Hanley back? Those we mentioned. MK would do a pretty good center there as well on that third line.
Yeah. I mean, Kylie's just such a stable presence for us. And I forget when we were talking about it, maybe post game, just Friday, just how we build our offense through the middle. So when you have Hughes, McMahon, Hanley, things just feel right. And I think they're all really defensive minded and can work really effectively up the middle of the ice. So Kylie just brings a good calming presence to our lineup. That's part of, some of our second period. They haven't been great the past couple of weekends when we had some of those injuries. It's people playing with different lines and trying to sort that out. So just bring stability back, and would be awesome if she's ready to go.
What was it about MK that you slotted her in there for Kylie? So I think my first instinct when Kylie went down was I thought Roby was going to the center.
Yep, we thought about that too. And MK's been working her butt off since the beginning of the year. She's been everywhere for us. And whenever we have needed a center this year, we've been putting her in at practice. Sometimes she's on the fourth line centering that group. So she just has a few more minutes, I guess, played at center this year, though we are confident that Rogie could do it too.
We've seen MK kind of grow from last year to this. She didn't play a lot last year.
Right.
And now she's playing quite a role in that shot. We talked about Friday.
Yeah.
A lot of confidence in that shot.
Yeah, I love the way her game has grown. I think everybody respects what MK does on and off the ice. I was just watching the end of practice. She's out there doing different things. A lot of kids want to take one-timers at the end of practice or shoot at an empty net. And MK's on the walls a lot, working on chip plays, working on little puck protection plays. She is a rink rat. She's a gym rat. She loves to be in the gym. She shoots pucks. She does all of the little things that I think earns her the respect of the team, and also makes her prepared. So when we hit the ice for practice, she knows what we're doing, knows where to be. And if you want to earn respect of upperclassmen and coaches, that's how you do it. So that's a good ringtone. So that's what we've seen. And it's been great to see her in games as well, carrying over those practice habits into games and having success and complimenting every line that she's been on.
This senior class that you guys are honoring this weekend. First, do you remember what it's like to coach around here without Naomi Roby?
No.
In this building?
No, I don't, frankly.
What, this is season 8 for you?
Mhm.
You've been here for
6.
of them?
Yeah. Yeah. So those first 2 are a bit of a blur now.
This senior class, what kind of moment is this gonna be like watching them? And it's not their last time at Amsoil.
Right.
But honoring this group and Ellie's got like a laundry list of
Yeah.
accomplishments that.
And what I've told everyone here is they deserve every minute of that senior presentation that we give. It's going to be long, and it should be. They are remarkable people and players and have done so much for me as a coach and this program. So take all the time to highlight their accolades and show the videos, because they deserve it. And it will be emotional post game. We're tempering our emotions leading up, and we know we're going to be home again after that. So that, dials it back. But when I think about, what they've given and what they've brought to my life, it's hard to put into words.
Emma's already got experience going with this one.
And Ashton. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, did we do Ashton?
We did. Yep. Yep.
See, that was fun.
Yeah, I know. It's funny.
Roby specifically,
Yeah.
what are you gonna remember about her? Some of the, not just the longevity that she's been here for 6
Yeah.
years, but maybe that is part of it, the impact.
Oh,
that
yeah.
6 years ago.
I mean, I am a very lucky coach to have so many upperclassmen every day at practice. It's fast. We're quick at the board because I say this drill and they say, okay, and we go. And sometimes we draw it the wrong way, and Rogie will be there to be like, no, coach, lines are here. And I say, thank you. So it's that kind of stuff that from a coaching perspective, I will definitely miss. And from a daily basis, just with Rogie, she is so locked into what we're doing at practice. Her mind is always going. We've talked about how she's one of the smartest players out there, but she is thinking about things at practice that other people aren't thinking about. Little tips for coaches is always helpful, like I just said at the board. And then, you know, when it comes to games, just some massive big game moments with Rogie's arms in the air afterwards. So there's a lot that I could say. I have not thought about that. No. Yeah, right.
That gesture like this, you may want to practice that a little more than you did last summer.
I would like to, John. I would like to. Yeah, it was a tough go on Saturday, just trying to find an inch of ice to get some space. They were really physical. They had, it seemed like, two bodies on us all the time. And for whatever reason, we had a hard time finding the back of the net and didn't generate as many shots as we had the night before. But I think it was just it's a tough place to go. Every year we go down there, it's hard. And so it was another one of those type of games. And there was a lot of physicality out there, you know, a lot of calls that could have been made that weren't, but it is what it is, and we have to get through it. And
one team's kind of beating on you like that.
yeah.
If the refs did so they tolerate it, then they don't call it later and really affect the game.
Yeah.
And I don't imagine unless you turn negative, you probably won't have a
Well, that's right. And she did get a penalty in the third period, you know, playing physical, which is what we want to do to be able to match that type of play. But yeah, it's more of a mental, I think there is a physical component to it, but it's a mental grind to get through it. And we know, if you ask Rogie about it, every press conference we have heading into some of these series, we know how the other team's going to want to try to play us. And it's up to us to continue to elevate our game, not to get stuck in that stuff, find our space, outsmart them, use our finesse, use our speed, and get things done.
Knowing that you're gonna be home again for the start of WCHA, does that change your mindset, or what? How do you go into maybe St. Cloud a little bit differently, knowing that you're coming back in a couple weeks?
I always assumed we'd be coming back in a couple weeks. That's just our mentality now, is we better be hosting the first round of playoffs, and whether we're 1, 2, 3, or 4, you know, whatever that shakes out. But that's always part of it. So it's more, who is that opponent going to be? Because it's going to be St. Cloud or Mankato. And so these points this weekend are really important for them and for us, which I think is great. You know, that's the type of hockey you want to play at this time of year. So we know they're going to be scratching and clawing for every inch out there, and we'll be ready.
A lot changed since the last time we saw them. It was November when we played at their place.
Yeah.
The two from them.
Yep.
You know, are there any kind of takeaways from that, or any major changes since that series?
For sure. I think, you know, we've been watching the film from that series to see what worked well, and then matching it up to, you know, what they've been doing lately. And some of those things are still going to be able to be there for us this weekend. But every team is better in a lot of ways from November to February. And obviously they had a great performance last weekend in front of 14,000+ people, and they're going to be feeling good about themselves. I think they're ranked 12th in the NPI, 12th in the pairwise, you know, so that's the nice part about expanding our rankings to 15, because I think a lot of these, you know, the Mankato's and the St. Clouds have been in that, you know, 10 to 20 range, but nobody knew it. And in our league, I think we know these are good teams, and big implications for us if we can get the wins.
What has allowed Brian in his first year to have the success he's having at St. Cloud after the struggles they've had in the past?
Yeah, I think their lineup's good. You know, I think they've always had good goal scorers and good goaltending. Obviously, JoJo's over there, and Sania Hola has been really good for them. And then before that, it was Paluzny. So the goaltending's always been there. I feel like they've always had snipers, and maybe just a change of scenery, new philosophies, and a little more structure to what they're doing can can go a long way. So I assume that's what's going on. I don't know, but I think they have a good lineup, and it doesn't surprise me that they're getting some of the wins that they're getting this year.
You think they'll go to school on last Saturday and try to do the same thing?
Do you what?
Do you think they watch your?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Will they come after you?
Yes, they will. They're a physical team too. They take a lot of penalties. They've had some majors. So that will definitely be part of their mindset and their plan, which is kind of nice for us since we just went through it. So hopefully we're aware.
Your Valentine, Emma, is coming up on, she's pretty close here now. She's a good shot of the shutout single season and career shutout record. She'll brush those off and stuff like that, but I'm wondering for the rest of you guys, what's it mean and to help her get those records and play a role in those records, because she's also, those are team records, not necessarily individual records.
Yeah, that's definitely what she would say, is that it's the team in front of her, but there's so many of those saves that easily could have gone in. She makes amazing saves in practice and it translates over into games. And I think we see the work she's put in from maybe watching Maddie Rooney her first couple seasons, now being the starter and being the clutch player that we've needed her to be. And it's super exciting because she's always just so happy and always wants to be better, no matter if she got a shutout. She's like, well, I could have made a better rebound on this one or whatever it is. She's always striving to perfection. And I think that's what's super important with her, is she never settles for what she had.
You are one of the few players that remember that at the start of her career, we're weird to think now she's only been playing 3 seasons as the starter. What did you kind of see early on in her career at UMD?
Gosh, it's a little bit back there. I think she just always would want to take more shots after practice, and if it's in goalie sessions, she's always asking questions to Lou about what she could have done better on that if a goal happened, or if she didn't feel like she moved right, what she could do. And she focuses on those details a lot. And I think that's really where her game has stepped up, is she's focused on those details, and it gives us results that we want.
I remember you guys were pretty confident when she stepped in there right away. Everyone else is asking, okay, you're going from gold medalist Maddie Rooney to Soderberg, who's really played here, but you guys are pretty confident from the start, and that's from what you saw those first 2 years.
Absolutely. Every day in practice, we see her here. You guys may not see her, and she makes just as many saves as Maddie would in practice as well. So I think that is something that she felt the confidence from us, and that we didn't feel like there was anything that was going to change in the goalie's eyes. We knew we had good goaltending from the start, and I think that does a good job from our coaches getting them in here and seeing what we have. And I think that's super important with our goalies, to just stay constant and stay hungry.
What do you think of the job is doing it better there on your line?
It's great. It's so exciting. Like Coach said, she is a gym rat. She loves being at the rink all the time. She puts in so much work. So to finally see it all paying off and to see her get that goal, and it's awesome. The excitement that she plays with, and she's kind of a freshman, right? She didn't really get a season last year, and to see that the role she stepped into is amazing. And she's definitely playing beyond her years. And I think it's exciting to see that she has a lot more time here.
So do you feel like this is the best of your 16?
I think so. I think we always just keep getting better. I think the amount of experience that we have on this team, whether it's age or being in those tough spots, being in the Frozen Four last year, returning most of our team is huge. We know what it takes to get there, and we know the work that it takes, and we know the experience that comes with it and all that stuff. And we don't want to ever lose that. And I think that fuels our fire, as well as knowing what to do on the ice, the work that it takes in the D zone. If we're stuck in there for a long time, we know how to get out of it. We're not too worried, no matter who's on the ice. We all have experience in those spots.
Well, so 6 years, I mean, you've seen a lot transpire in this program. It's like watching the evolution of sun coming up.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think back to my freshman year, and I remember losing in game 3 against Bemidji in the WCHA playoffs. And I just remember like the sour taste in my mouth that left. And I know Ashton remembers that, and we will never let that happen again. And that's something that we kind of put in place, and to see where we've gotten to now, where we know we want to make the final face-off down at Ritter and not just be there, we want to win it now. And so it's just seeing that growth that this team has had is super important to us.
Find yourself kind of taking in the moment more as the season kind of winds down and final year.
Yeah, I definitely do. I always take in the moments that I had here. I knew it was always going to be a dream come true, no matter if it was my freshman year and now my 6th year here. I always cherished everything that I had. It was honestly on Monday, we had workout, and Maggie looks at me, she's like, it's finally senior weekend. And I was like, almost about to cry, because I was like, that's crazy. This has been a part of my life for so long. And I'm so grateful for Coach and the team bringing me in. Sorry. Yeah. They gave me my best friends. And I just can't be more grateful for you guys.
We're not.
No, we're not. Sorry. Yeah.
Thinking all about, I think you're kind of where you're at, but at this point, you played the second most games ever, anything from the Bulldog. You're thinking about that, it's like 159, it's a lot of games.
Yeah.
I mean, do you ever think back, think, the freshman roadie that you're gonna be near the top when you're done, you know, playing all these games, and that kind of experience, like, you know, is it ever gonna sit back and say, holy crap?
Not really. I don't really think about it. I'd much rather put a banner up in this rink than to think about what I was doing. I'd much rather have the team do something like that. And I definitely would not have been able to play as many games if it wasn't for the athletic training staff to get me back out there and for the strength training that I had to get back from injury as well. And I think I'm just incredibly grateful that I was able to play as many games as I have. Because I know a lot of people would do anything to play one game, let alone be able to do what I've been doing.